that page? Hey everybody, welcome to the South Florida GEG launch, and we are so excited. Hey everybody, welcome to the South Florida GEG launch, and we are so excited. We've got a lot of special guests here for you today. We are going to be talking to May Ju, who is the one who runs our trainer group and also leads the GEGs for North America. We've also got Tim Anderson here from the EDU in 90. We have Tanya, who is a co-author of the Google Infused Classroom. We've got Krista Lamb here to talk about becoming a trainer. She's a fairly newly minted trainer, and she's really excited to talk about that. And just so that you know, I am Robin Larrabee, and I'm welcomed here with Dr. Eric Jorgensen, Danielle Clarke, and Jody Wolfthal. So let's take it away. May, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, hi, Robin, thank you so much. And Eric, for letting me join your group. And I'm so glad I'm going before Tim, because Tim is like a famous, superstar. So I'm glad to introduce myself first. But yeah, like what Robin said, so I am leading our trainer program and now our GEGs in North America. So I'm actually super excited that, you guys there's so many launches across the US for new GEGs. So huge thanks to you leaders. I don't know if Robin dropped off, but Robin and Eric and everyone who's a part of this, and for all the folks, I see in the hiding in the back, just on the back end, trying to help everyone. And I feel so grateful that you guys are creating these awesome communities for local people to join and to be a part of. So thank you so much. And for those who are watching, I hope you guys have a great meeting. And if you guys want to, learn more about GEGs or even trainers in general, I know not everyone here is a trainer, so maybe that's a goal that you guys are working towards. So please feel free to reach out to me directly. I can probably, you guys connect with Robin and she can forward emails to me, but just wanted to welcome everyone here and thank you so much for being a part of this. So yeah.
Thank you, May. We appreciate it. All right, up next, Dr. Eric Jorgensen is going to talk a little bit about what our GEG is all about.
So, what is a GEG? GEGs are, groups of educators that are passionate about education, that they know the benefits of technology, how it adds to the schools, to the classrooms, to the students, to the communities. And we run events both locally and online to provide an area for educators to collaborate, work together, share best ideas and processes, and to support each other. We know, especially with everything, going to this distance learning, some of it was going with our launch theme. It was like putting together a rocket ship after it's already taken off, while we're in supersonic flight, and also having to document it so we have the blueprints for everybody else to be able to do those same things. So this group gives us an opportunity to get together and find people that, have a common passion for teaching and the implementation of technology. It doesn't mean that you need to be a tech expert, but you know the importance of technology and want to be able to incorporate it into your teaching so you can really make a difference with all of our kids.
Thanks, Eric. Up next, we have Stephanie Howell. Stephanie is one of the leaders from the Global GEG, which has been a huge, huge, huge source of inspiration for us. So Stephanie, if you'd like to tell everybody a little bit about what the Global GEG does, we'd love it.
I just realized I was muted. Oh man, that's a rookie mistake. Anyways, I am Stephanie Howell. I'm so happy to be here, and I help lead Global GAG. And so Global GAG is an organization where we are helping the local GAGs. So all of Florida, we're helping Ohio, where I'm from. We're helping from all the way to California, the UK, Australia, all these different locations in order to help different GAGs come together into one area. So we kind of have different goals to help those GAGs come together. And so our main mission is to support Google and promote all of the awesome things that Google's doing to support educators. So we're giving a lot of trainings on how to use Google Slides. A big popular one right now is using Bitmojis with Google Classroom. So we're talking about how to make your Bitmoji in Google Classroom. And this is all available to South Florida. So you guys are invited to come to these webinars and learn alongside with us. And we have a huge boot camp coming up. So hopefully you're ready to pass your level 1 and 2 certification, which Stephanie R. will talk about in a little bit. But we are just here to help all the local places and provide webinars, provide support to the amazing leaders of South Florida. So I hope you can join us on one of these webinars.
Thanks, Stephanie. Up next, we have Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson is, like May said, kind of a Google celebrity of sorts. I've been following Tim for quite a while. I love getting his EDU in 90s. So we're going to go ahead and put Tim on and have him talk just a little bit more about what the the EDU in 90s is all about.
Sure. And thanks for having us all. We're really excited to be able to take part. As Robin mentioned, I'm part of the Google for Education team. I, prior to coming to Google, was middle school teacher as well. So I taught 7th grade and 8th grade. So super appreciative of all the great work that you all do. And EDU in 90 is a video series that we started about 3 years ago. It was really born out of this insight that, as you all know, educators have tons on their plate. Super busy, and we heard from a lot of users that they wanted a really quick way to stay up to speed with the latest product features and beta programs that Google for Education was offering with its products. So EDU in 90 was born, and we are just about at the end of our 6th season. So we've got 98 episodes at this point. It's kind of become a stalwart within a lot of our presence on YouTube and on social. And it's something that's landed really well. So we have had 17 million views of EDU at 90 since the series kicked off in 2017. It's grown up a lot in that time, and we've really been able to build a lot of the program around what we hear from users that they're more curious about, and sort of flexed the series to match those insights. And then if you go to the last slide, I can't see what's being presented. But one question that we get a lot is for these 3 new episodes that we put out each month, how do we decide what to focus on? And it really comes down to 3 things. So one is performance data from earlier episodes. So one benefit of the series being around for a while is we're really able to see what folks engage with well, which topics folks seem most hungry to learn more about. So that's something that we factor in pretty heavily. The second, and I think most important factor, is feedback from users. So both through scaled surveys, and then also through smaller focus groups, using that as sort of a complementary way to balance the data-heavy perspective that I just mentioned. And then the third thing that we look at is what's coming out that's new. So are there new features that are launching in Classroom? Is there a new training or resource program? And try to make sure that we balance that in with more of our kind of standard ongoing topics. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out before, you can see our full playlist at g.co/edu90. And we are, like I mentioned, sort of in the downward turn of our 6th season. So we'll be wrapping that up later this month. So, and if you have ideas, all the episodes in the description, there's a form where we collect ideas from folks on what they want to see more of or less of. So definitely share feedback there.
We appreciate it. Thanks for sharing that with us. And everybody, we did put a link for the slides in earlier. So if there's anything else that you'd like to get from Tim, you can find out information on the slides. Next up, Eric, would you like to introduce our next guest?
Eric, we think you're muted. Just FYI, Eric. You're all good.
Too many mute buttons. I apologize.
We got you.
Our next guest is Tanya Averish. She's the co-author of the Google Infused Classroom, the newly released Microsoft Infused Classroom. She's a Google certified innovator, an Apple distinguished educator, and an Adobe education leader. As an advocate for student voice, Tanya believes in the power of storytelling in education. She has seen stories help kids explore their creativity, construct their identities, and connect with others firsthand. It's a principle that she has had the privilege of spreading with the help of Adobe Education as their education evangelist. So without further ado, Tanya Averish. Maybe a little ado.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Eric, for having me here. I am so beyond honored. I couldn't even believe when you asked me. I was like, you want me to do what? That's awesome. Eric, I actually, first of all, let me just say, when the GEGs first came out, I was telling Eric behind the scenes, I was one of the co-founders of the Florida chapter when it just started with Jerry Switek. So I'm super excited to be part of your launch. It feels really exciting and a huge honor. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And to all my South Florida friends, I'm a Florida local. I'm originally from Montreal, but I live here in Boynton Beach. And so having this community grow is really special for me. And I figured since I'm here, I was going to share a little bit of my journey with you, just kind of because I think for so many people, we're experiencing this huge shift, and more than ever right now, we're in that journey together of kind of moving our thinking and around teaching and learning. And I wanted to kind of give some context in terms of my journey and hopefully share some lessons learned in just a little bit with you guys today. So Jerry, I'm calling you Jerry, like, hey, Jerry. it's a call out to Jerry. But Eric, do you think I'm able to share my screen?
I'm trying to find out right now. And I take Jerry as a compliment. As a Parks and Recreation fan, Jerry was an integral part of that storyline, or Gary or Larry or whatever he was.
Yeah, I'm an Office fan, so I think I got to get onto the Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, and I haven't seen The Office, so we can just switch.
Oh, you got to watch The Office. This is amazing. So thank you. So I'm going to share a little bit of my journey. So just so that you guys understand where I'm coming from, I am a teacher. I will always be a teacher first and foremost. It's my heart, my soul, my passion. And it's really what drives everything I've ever done in my life, because I love working with kids and I always want to do what's best for kids. And that's why we're here, right? Because we really care. And my kind of journey with Google and like ed tech really started back in 2012. I had learned about this thing called the Google Teacher Academy on Twitter, and I had just started kind of like tweeting and getting into that. And I started working at my school district, my school board in Montreal, and I came across it and I was like, I'm gonna apply. To be honest, like I had been using Google Docs and slides with my kids kind of illegally, like they were using their Gmail or their email. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I started doing that in like 2007. So I didn't even realize that it was super innovative at the time. I was like, oh, look, the kids can collaborate. And it wasn't not anything like it is today. And so I ended up working at the school board, and I started implementing my first one-to-one initiative in 2011. And it was an iPad one-to-one program. And I remember at the time using like Dropbox, and I was like trying to figure out like, what's the workflow? Like, how do I get this thing, to me? And it was like those struggles like a decade ago of like when we first started going paperless and going one-to-one, those were things that I was really working at, and I didn't have anyone to go to because everyone was kind of in the same boat. And I ended up going to the Google Teacher Academy that year. I applied, and by the grace of God, I got in. It was the best day of my life. And I ended up going to the New York cohort, and which was really cool. That was me right over here. I don't know if you can see me. I had bangs and long hair. It's kind of slicked back right now. And it was an awesome experience. And I'm still super like close and in touch with so many of the people in my cohort. Like Jenny Magira was in my cohort right over here. And now she's like, I don't know, the chief global something at Google, which is so cool. But like this was super exciting time, and we were figuring things out at the time. And truthfully, all of us like had no clue what we were doing. So of course, what do you do when you figuring things out? Well, the very next year I was, I worked at the district, and I was able to pilot with different schools initiatives. And so I helped lead the first one-to-one initiative for Chromebooks and Google, because we weren't even a Google district. I brought it back with me after the Google Teacher Academy to the entire district. We piloted, and within a year, we moved to Google, which was crazy. It was the first school district in all of Quebec. And we just kind of did it, and we were figuring it out as we went along. And we were, as I heard earlier, I think it might have been Robin saying we were building we were flying the plane and building it at the same time we were in. That's what we're all doing right now, right? We are all kind of in the same boat where today that's where a lot of you are, right? We are figuring it out. We're trying to reimagine what this space looks like. And I think that you guys are doing an insane, amazing job. I just want to say, I can't even imagine being pushed into that direction back then in a remote environment and figuring myself out. And so it's exciting that you're here today. Some of you may have been doing a lot more in the past, in the last few years. Some of you might just be getting going in this space. But I wanted to share a few of my biggest takeaways over the years so that you don't have to make some of the same mistakes that I made when I first started. So first things first, it's really important to remember that ultimately it always comes back to your learning, right? The pedagogy drives the technology. The pedagogy drives everything we're doing. It's always coming back to the learning. And I think it's really important that when you're framing your activities, you're framing your lessons, it's not about the hoopla of like whatever engagement piece is attached to it. It's much deeper than that. It's really about how we're helping students learn in a more effective way and making their learning relevant and meaningful and helping you understand where they are in their learning. So when we are looking at this process, you're gonna hear my daughter screaming. This is live TV. I have a 12-year-old who's fighting with her brother. But when we are looking at the processes of kind of getting going, imagine in your classroom, if you're an administrator, you wanna think about what problems of practice I say you solve, but it's really what as a community can we solve with that technology? Because ultimately that's where you're gonna have the greatest advantage is when you're thinking about it through that lens of it's not so much what it can do, but how is it saving you time? How are you more efficient? Thinking through those problems as a group is really where I think this group will be really helpful for you as well. Also, I want you to also think about the technology in your class and how you're thinking about it in terms of teaching and learning. Because when we approach technology integration and we don't think about the learning first, what ends up happening is we layer on really like technology onto an old way of doing things. So new technology and old pedagogy doesn't go. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change your outcomes. So we need to start really thinking about, okay, what is the learning experience I want for my learner? What problems of practice can this technology help me solve? What problems for my learners might it help me do? And so you start to really think about the pedagogy in terms of, okay, I want to be able to reach my learner and, check for understanding. I want to be able to differentiate my instruction, hear from every learner, but also design with the end in mind for UBL, thinking about the different modalities. And I mean, YouTube is such a great example of being able to do that, flipping your video, using Screencastify, uploading it onto YouTube, teaching the kids how to use closed captioning so that if a learner is an ELL learner, they can still understand what you're talking about, right? Being able to check quickly for understanding with a Google form and then make quick adjustments in your class to meet the needs of your learners, and then allowing students to demonstrate their learning, not just multiple choice or just a paper all the time, but being able to get them to create. Like, that's everything. Getting them to create is so powerful. And then providing them opportunities to learn how to curate and reflect on their learning. So these are all the elements that we want to see happen with our classrooms. And this is where the technology really comes in a really powerful way, because when we are using technology effectively, and this is the best advice I can ever give you, and it took years to come to this space, but when we are using technology effectively, we ultimately will see these three things happening. They will help your students make their thinking visible, meaning you can then get into the minds of your students in a way that you never could have without the technology, because you're providing them with an opportunity to use multiple modalities, to be able to talk, explain, hear their voices, being able to, show their learning in different ways so that you can understand where they are in their learning journey. It also provides every learner in your class with a voice. And that's the power of the technology. And especially now more than ever, it is so important that our students are heard and they have agency, and they're able to really to tell the stories that they have in a meaningful way. And also in your class, especially in a remote classroom, you don't have to just hear from the same 3 kids. With technology, you can hear from all your learners. And ultimately, it allows students to share their work. And hopefully it's more than just you or for a grade, but to an authentic audience, to be able to hear from each other. So these are really powerful ways that we're using technology, and that we're using Google in our classes. So ultimately it comes down to this, and I'm so excited about this community, and I'm so grateful to be here. But how can we support each other is what this community will, ultimately I think would imagine is there for. How can we support each other so that ultimately when we're struggling, when we have questions, when we don't know where to go, we have each other. And that's the best part of being part of any community, but the Google community is really, really wonderful for that. So thank you for this honor. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at Tanya Avrith. You can send me an email, avrith@adobe.com. I mean it when I say it, that I am accessible to you. It is my pleasure to answer your emails, get on a phone call, and work with you at your school. I have the luxury of being able to do that because of my role, so I'm happy to do that. So please, thank you for having me, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Tanya. You're inspiring as always. And I was watching the chat as you were talking, and you've really got people pumped up. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Robin, I do remember you.
You do.
Okay, Robin is a rock star of rock stars, okay? So that's all I'll say. So thank you for having me.
We really appreciate you being here, Tanya. Thank you so much. All right, up next, we have our own wonderful Daniela Clarke, whose 2-year-old has decided that mommy's not allowed to wear her launch helmet.
She's so afraid of it.
All right, Jody, Danielle, tell us a little bit about what.
All right, so level 1 and 2 is where I am. I am a relatively new educator. And once you hit level 1 and level 2, you're ready. We're like, okay, we're going to do this. That's the base for your launch. So the coolest part about it is once you start gaining your confidence, you notice that you've taken your exam and you pass level 1. And now all of a sudden these classroom benefits start creeping in. you're excited, you're starting to try and expand on some of the new things that you've learned on the lessons, or you've learned on the resources, or that you learned in the exam. And then that gives you a little bit of on-site training for level 2. And after you pass level 2, that intrinsic value is there, and you're just a rock star, and you keep going. And you have increased your efficiency for things like planning, grading, collaboration, but you've also added that next level of engagement and fun for your students. So picking those level 1s and 2s right out of the gate are going to help you just really get excited about what your Google journey looks like as an educator, or helping your team get through level 1 and 2 as an admin or a support member. And that's really where I come in to kind of help and continue that journey with you guys. So with all of that being said, I'm really excited to be introducing our next speaker. She is a really great piece of the global GEG puzzle. She's the leader of GEG Northern California, trainer and innovator, Miss Stephanie Rothstein.
Wow, thank you for that awesome introduction. I was like, oh, that is me. Okay, so thank you so much. And I'm really happy to be here and supporting South Florida. You all are awesome. You've had some amazing speakers already. And going with what Danielle was just talking about, if you are seeking to kind of level up and learn, we would love to help you to do that. And tomorrow is the first of our level 1 series boot camp. And so tomorrow is the day. You are welcome to sign up. We would love to have you. So please, please, please join us. We have a ton of signups already, and we are all here to help you from around the globe. There are over 17 speakers, all of which have come together from all around the world to support you, and many, many more in the back channel. We have We'll be reviewing all different aspects of the Google Suite each day, and we're breaking it down bit by bit because there's a lot to learn, and it doesn't mean that you can't do it. We all can do it. It's just taking it bit by bit. So we're doing a few things each week, and there are challenges, there's leaderboards, there's even office hours. And so the office hours are scheduled for the Monday after the Friday, and there'll be other leaders that are amazing people that are going to be there supporting you to practice some of those tools. And if you're there and you're feeling like there's a lot, I need even more assistance, we even have some people who will offer to do meets with you outside of those times of office hours. So it's really intended to be a hands-on learning experience. You feel confident to then go in and take your level 1 exam. In July, we plan to have a level 2 boot camp as well. So you sign up for both. And hopefully my internet was being nice to me during this presentation, but we would love to see you at the boot camp. And we thank you so much on behalf of Global GEG.
Thank you, Steph. It seems like your internet was doing just fine. One of our other captains, Jody, is here, and Jody is going to introduce our next guest. So go for it.
All right. Hi, guys. So I'm Jody, and I am introducing Crystal Lamb, who is another educator up in West Palm with us, and she is going to be taking us through what it is to be a trainer. I myself went through the trainer program. I just got trainer certified in February and got to meet all these global leaders, and it has been so amazing and inspirational. So I'm not going to say any more. Crystal, I'm just going to pass it on to you.
Thank you so much. I'm Crystal Lamb, and I am a 13-year teacher at Park Vista High School, and this has been a great journey. You get excited because you go through the level 1, you get these tools and skills, and then you're able to implement them in your classroom, and then all of a sudden you're teaching people around you. You're sharing all the information that you have, and then you go on to level 2, and then you get that information, and you're also sharing with your co-teachers and people around you because they're just great tools and tips to really help you out. Then you really go further and you start the journey to become a Google certified trainer. It's a really good thing as you start to kind of share your information with people around you, that you keep track of how you're training or what you're doing. You want to start generating your ideas and collecting your information, because a big portion of the Google certified trainer application is to document your trainings. It's to go ahead and keep agendas, and to also have some of your people do, or actually everybody who attends your training, to do assessments. What did they learn? How did it go? And because all of that goes into your Google certified training application. So you work through the process slowly but surely. So you, of course, go through level 1, you go through your level 2, and then from there, you're able to go ahead and go for the application to be the certified trainer. All of you guys are probably trainers on a daily basis. If you're teachers, you are sharing the information that you've learned with your peers, with people around you. It's just a natural thing that we do. So to become a trainer, it's really not that difficult. It's just, covering your bases. You want to make sure as you're going through your application process that when you apply, some of the biggest things that people get rejected for is that their links to some of their trainings that they did or slideshows that they presented are not open. They're restricted to only either people in district. So you want to make sure that you open up your links to be non-restricted so that the people who are reviewing your application are able to see everything that you have done. You also, so it's pretty easy. Step 1, go ahead and work through. Google has a great training app, training system where you can go online and you can work through their training protocols to go ahead and, get all the skills you need to become a level 1 certified trainer. Take the test, then you implement in your classroom, you share the information with other people, get super excited, and then you go on to level 2. Google also provides you with a way to work through the training modules, and then you take your level 2 certification. Then you continue on and you train other people. You really just share all of the great tools and information that you've learned through the level 1 and level 2 certification, and you document it. And you are able to go ahead and really complete your application. It's a little nerve-wracking recording yourself and doing your video, but a couple slides back, one of the things that you need to really pay attention to that when you're doing your video, be very clear on the task that you are demonstrating, talk your way through it, and make sure that if you're using outside tools, for example, if you were going to show how to post an assignment on Google Classroom, you want to just make sure that you say that you're using a pre-created assignment or a pre-created quiz. So that way they know where this stuff is coming from, just to make it more streamlined and a little easier. And it's a really great process, and you'll find that once you start going through level 1, level 2, it's just a natural progression to become a Google certified trainer. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat or on the Jamboard, and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. All of her information is on the slides that were shared with you earlier, and I'll drop those back in there in just a few minutes. But thank you very much, Crystal. It was awesome seeing you. Hope you're having a great summer, and it would be nice to see you in person sometime really soon.
Excellent. I'd love that. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, I just want to stop here for just a moment and apologize. This is my very first time doing a StreamYard, so I know it's a little bit choppy. And I neglected to say before, and I'm going to put my co-leader and captains back on and embarrass them here for just a minute. Danielle's not with us.
Nothing like last minute notice.
Yeah. Surprise! We're wearing our crazy helmets because it is the launch, and we decided to go with the launch aspect of it. Up here she goes.
She's around the corner.
Oh, okay. Perfect timing.
Yay!
Number 1, because we are launching, and then number 2, because we just had that really cool SpaceX launch, what was about a week ago or so. And also just to make anybody else out there jealous who may be involved in a GEG somewhere other than the global one, we have our own shirts. So we're super excited. We have been laughing about this for the longest time, and now that we're finally here, we're all like, oh, okay. And I have been behind the scenes asking everybody in our leadership group, okay, who goes next? Because I can't see. So I apologize if anybody is getting off put by any of this. Anyway, back to business. Next up, we have Leslie and Abbott. They are also part of Global GEG. Abid is also the GEG leader for UK. And Leslie is GEG leader in Australia. And we would love to show you what they have to say about being innovators.
Okay, thank you. Are we on now? This is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So very exciting. So
Yeah.
I'll go first. Right? I'll go first. I'm Leslie Altman, and yes, I am from Australia. So g'day, everyone. It's early morning here, and I'm so excited to be presenting here with Abid. We get on like a house on fire. Actually, I don't think I've ever met you before. Hello. We've never really met in person, but because we've been working with such a great team, we have a great working relationship. So, Abid, over to you.
Yes, it's as I say, it's the bit of the show that everyone's been waiting for, isn't it? The Abid and Leslie show, and yeah, we're here to inspire you about the Google Certified Innovator experience, and it's an experience that both of us went through last year in 2019. Leslie was part of Sydney 19, and I was part of the far superior London 19 cohort, and in all seriousness, it was an amazing experience, and I think you know, the connections that we kind of developed after it is sort of what brought us all together, really. Like Leslie said, I didn't know pretty much everyone you've seen on the call today. I've probably never met any of them in real life, except for Georgina, who will be up next. But it's the experience that and the opportunity that it gives you. And Leslie, do you want to talk about some of the stages of the experience?
Well, yes, look, the mentoring program follows the actual academy. So you are really well supported before the academy, during the academy, and afterwards with a mentor as well. But it is really an exciting journey, and your mind is stretched. You're thinking outside the box all the time. And so, I mean, you do meet some incredible people. Some of them you've been stalking on Twitter for a while, and then you're sitting in the room as colleagues. And so it is very exciting. But the experience of the Innovate Academy, like last year, it was, you know, at a Google office. And but this year it will be a virtual academy, and I'm really excited to see how that's going to unfold, because we've all been working in these virtual areas over the last couple of months, and and to see how it's going to be done with you know, like at this top end is going to be really exciting. So the academy was about 3 days long. It'll be different with Virtual Academy this year, but there is a time of focus where you are broken up into teams, and the team is led by a coach, and the coach helps you interpret and work out some of the activities that you have during the time. And there's a lot of design thinking, which is really hard for, I think, for teachers, unless you come from a graphic background, like a graphic design background. Design thinking is really difficult because you get you know, with all your policies and your curriculum and all the things that really restrict you, and you have to carve a little creative path right through the middle of that. And it's the teachers who breathe life into policies, and it's the teachers who, you know, like animate, you know, curriculum. So I found that really challenging. How did you find it, Abid?
Yeah, no, I didn't know anything about design thinking before the academy. And it was an absolutely brand new, pleasantly shocking experience. I think it makes you really delve down. You know, we've become so accustomed to technology and using tech in our everyday lives, especially as, you know, innovators and ed tech champions, and to go back to basics with, you know, pen and post-it notes and quick design thinking, getting things out onto paper, and it really challenges your mindset in an absolutely amazing way. And we've just listed in here in the slides some of the stages of the application, and it's almost like every single stage of the application is such a celebration. I mean, just applying for it as itself, before the application, the innovator program has a whole load of webinars that they do, kind of trying to generate the interest and build the inspiration to get the application done, and that in itself is such an amazing process. And if you're applying for VIA 20 this year, then make sure you reach out to on Twitter to the Google EI hashtag. It's an amazing family, and they are so happy to help. And then you get onto the announcement, and the announcement is just you're filled with like a mixture of excitement and dread throughout that waiting period between the deadline and the announcement of, am I going to get in? And then you connect with the other people who have applied, and you build up that interest and generation. And it's kind of like, I'm so excited. And then you finally get announced, and you get added to a Hangouts chat. And then it's like we had cohorts of 36, and you make 36 best friends overnight. And it's just so exciting. And I think it's going to be even more exciting this year with the larger cohorts that they're looking at for VIA 20. And I can see in the chat there are so many people there who are really excited about VIA 20 and applying. And then you've got the experience of the academy itself, and it's going to be a very different but really exciting experience this year. And I think the innovator program has really catered for it to be online. And some of the other things that come out of it, so being an innovator, have the impact it has on your personal professional life, the professional growth that people have told me that they've experienced me having gone through it has just been amazing. And then the power of the PLNs and just the connections you make globally, worldwide, are absolutely amazing. And the stuff that we've been able to do, Global GEG exists because of the innovator connections that we've made. And absolutely go onto the website there, which we've linked, info.certifiedinnovators.com. And on the next slide, you'll see what the prerequisites are for applying. So Leslie, did you want to cover off some of the level 2 stuff?
Yeah, sure. The level 2 is a prerequisite because at Google Academy, you can appreciate the fact that we're not going to be going back through how you navigate and find and locate and create things. So they want to make sure that that's underway. And also actually there's if anyone is thinking of becoming a Google innovator, I mean, that they have to have that under their belt at the moment. So there are I think there's a bit of a delay in getting the results, if anyone has noticed, when they've been using the new exam platform called ProctorU. So just be aware of that if you're going for it. But join those Google Hangout chats. The application steps, the program website is there, and of course it looks a little bit different now. They had to change tact. I mean, innovators pivot, and this is one of the biggest pivots I've ever seen. So yes, you've got your level 2, and so for the application itself, I mean, you have to consider a challenge that you really are passionate about, something that just annoys the heck out of you when you get to school every morning and think, gee, I wish I could, solve this. I wish I could get this, to a better level. So students, it'll impact on student learning. So it's really difficult because we as problem solvers like to be able to say, here's my challenge. Now, here are my 4 solutions. And that's something you cannot bring to light. You can't even, make sure that when you apply, you don't mention a solution, because that's what the academy is all about. And if you go in with a fixed mindset, no, this is the solution I want to follow, it makes it really difficult. So that's one of the big no-nos of getting into the academy. You do not mention a solution, because you, as Chris Hart says here in Australia, as Chris Hart says, you carry your ideas lightly. And then you are, then you are influenced by these incredible people around you. Yeah. And then, of course, there's the video. The video now is 90 seconds. We only got 60 seconds last year. And that's kind of an exciting challenge to get your idea across, and you want to be able to connect and be a bit googly at the same time and make contact with your audience. So I found that a little challenging. I knew how to make videos, but I found that a little challenging because it was weighted heavily as part of the application. How'd you find it, Abid?
And I would say that, don't let that video bit scare you, because when I applied for London 19, the 60-second video that I made was the first video I've ever recorded of myself on talking on screen, it was, I won't lie, it was a nerve-wracking experience, but that's what Innovator is all about. It pushes you, pushes your boundaries, and pushes you out of your comfort zone, and you'll only learn the power of what's possible once you've pushed those barriers. And absolutely, the first 30 seconds of that video, talk about your passion, get your passion out there, show the innovators who are going to be marking your application why you want to be an innovator, what's so special about you, and really get that energy out there in those first 30 seconds. And then the second half of the video, the 60 seconds, take that as the opportunity to show the passion about your problem. And the one thing that they say in the Innovator program is fall in love with the problem, not the solution. And that's it. Once you show that you're really passionate about that problem and you want to solve that problem on a worldwide scale, then you know what, that's what the Innovator program wants. That's what everyone wants to see. We want to see people like that who are really taking and helping to solve educational problems on a grand scale, and absolutely get your application out there. It is the best professional development experience you will ever have in your life. I mean, for people who haven't been an innovator, who've asked me what's so fascinating about this experience, I say to them, take the best professional development experience you've had in your entire life, multiply it by 1 million, and you might come close to what the Innovator experience is, and you might come close to what the Innovator experience gives you, and that is what is the most important thing. So definitely get onto info.certifiedinnovators.com and get your application in. The deadline is on the 10th of July. Reach out to any of us on Twitter. You'll find us all over, and find us on the Google EI hashtag, and absolutely get your application out there, and you will not regret it.
Yeah. Absolutely, Abid. And I've just popped in, the last thing I'm going to say is that I've just popped in 2 links. One is to the official webinars that Google is putting out. And also I do an informal chat with innovators, and people just come along and we tease out a few ideas and we support each other. So you're very welcome to sign up for those, but do keep an eye out. If it's not for you this year, someone else might enjoy those links as well. So good luck, everyone. And this is really an exciting time. Thanks so much for inviting us along, Robin.
Thank you so much. What I really want to know is, how much does the Innovator Academy pay you for doing these things? Because you guys sell it, and I mean, you just inspire everybody to want to do it. Watching the chat, it's like me. So that was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've signed a non-disclosure agreement on the millions that we're sharing between us.
Google spend money. I didn't get any money.
Thank you. Oh, Abby, do you want to show everybody your hoodie that you got on there? Your special hoodie?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Innovator hoodie, but yeah, we won't say too much about that.
Okay. All right. Thank you both so very much. We appreciate it. We were looking at the Jamboard, and we're going to have Georgina actually present and discuss some of the things that have been on the Jamboard. But I have to preface this by saying Georgina and I kind of have this history, not in a bad way. We have this history. We met doing an Adobe course. We kind of fed off of each other in the Adobe course, and then we found each other during, I think it was the trainer course, I'm not even sure. But Georgina is the best cheerleader a person could have. And I was speaking with her earlier, and she's like, so what are you guys doing? And I told her that we were going to be wearing these crazy helmets, although I didn't specifically say they were helmets. And she is so awesome that even though she lives in Jordan, so she's nowhere near here, we've never met each other personally, I'm going to show you how Georgina is helping us out tonight. And there she is.
Have we landed yet, Robin? Have we landed? Oh, yeah, we're coming in. We're coming in hot. Oh, woo! Greetings, people. Googlers. Hello? Ah, very well. Well, my name's Georgina.
Yes, go ahead. I'm going to put up the responses on the Jamboard so we can have a little chat.
Oh, yes, sure. I'll share the screen then. Here we go. All right, there we go. All right, Googlers. So let's see what everybody has been chatting about. So let's get jamming right away. Our first jam question is, what challenged you the most this year? So we had some awesome comments in here. Some people were talking about positively remote learning from home, staff training as well, and parent support. It was such a challenging journey, right? Especially for those parents who are also working and non-teachers. Such an amazing dedication you've all put in. So thank you for that. Other things were here creating engaging content so that students were actually engaged. That's awesome. And being able to motivate your students, right, during distance learning. How difficult has that journey been? A brand new educational journey for all of us, right? So what an amazing thing. Other people said providing professional development virtually. Yes, that has been one of my favorite challenges as well, whoever shared that one. And getting parents up to speed on their tech. Absolutely. Such an amazing growth journey for all stakeholders across the education community. So thank you so much for sharing. And I see a lot of comments coming up in the chat as well. So thank you. Feel free to join us on the jam to add your comments also. All right, jam number 2. Robin, are you ready?
I am.
What are we most proud of? So launching the GEG. Hands up for all you GEG leaders out there, launching your GEGs in style. Woo! Woohoo! All right. Other things to celebrate, having K students, having strong tech foundation, absolutely. Again, that whole growth journey together. Year 5 and 6 teachers saying that they are learning ed tech as well, and thankful for the coaching that they had been provided. So well done to all the ed tech coaches out there and other teachers supporting. Oh my goodness, absolutely. L1 and L2 certifications. SoFla GEG just commented on all those amazing L1, L2 certs. Congratulations, Googlers. You are rock stars. Absolutely. And joining GEG, again, awesome. And becoming a trainer. Yes. Woohoo! Join. Yeah, super rocking. And jam number 3, what have I learned? So I'm also taking a look in the chat just to see if we have anything else. StreamYard is a big one. We have here teachers being motivated and understand the purpose, yes, to engage in professional development and learning. It's such a big growth journey this year. Wakelet or Wakelet, I never pronounced that correctly. That was my rookie move for this evening. Wakelet, sorry, whoever is listening. Wakelet, absolutely. It's such an amazing curation tool, right, Robin? We're using Jamboard right now, another example. So many things out there. Also, how to structure the Google Classroom. Absolutely. And we're always learning as well as leaders. I just learned from somebody this year that I can actually add emojis. I'm a super big fan of emojis, if y'all know me, to my Google Classroom topics. How cool is that? So absolutely things we're always learning, and how to use the Google searchy thingy. I love that. The Google searchy thingy. Whoever wrote that, you're my hero. Okay. That's my favorite part today. So if you are using the Google searchy thingy, you are rocking. And then the last slide, just because I'm realizing we're short on time and I want to give Robin enough time to say thank you and close her awesome launch. The last one was, what does the education of future look like? This is a really big one right now, guys. We are coming to the end of the school year. We're getting ready, thinking about what does back to school look like? Will it be physical? Will it be virtual? Will we all be in helmets and heading off into a new adventure together? And so absolutely, these are important questions to think about. Somebody has shared that they think that the blended classroom will look different and it will have a different learning environment. So thank you for sharing all of these exciting ideas. Pro tip from me before I close off for the night is make sure when you are searching for royalty-free images here in your Google search that you can add the word GIF at the end, and it will populate animated images for you. So you can add animated images to your Jamboards. And my students absolutely love these. So don't forget to add GIF at the end, okay? And thank you, Robin. Congratulations to you, Rockstar.
Thank you, Georgina. Really, thank you so much. Because what time is it now in Jordan? It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I really appreciate you staying up late to help us out down here in South Florida. Any way I can repay you, I certainly will. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No way! I'm so happy to join this launch. Where else am I going to wear my awesome helmet for rocket launch, right?
I'm not even sure why you have it, but I don't need to know that either.
Well, keep up the great work, GEG SoFla. It is such an awesome honor to be invited on your launch today, and I'm so excited to be part of your journey. So thank you for having me, and GEG Aman and myself wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. All right, just to wrap up, everyone, for those of you who are just tuning in, not really sure why we're here, not really sure what we're doing, we do have lots of things planned on the horizon for ways that we can support you. Hopefully you'll reach out. I know on the slide deck, if you click on the little computer screen, Jody put in there the link for our Google site. And through the Google site, you can register to become part of our group. And then we will send you emails, any kind of information that comes in. We have a Twitter page. Hopefully you'll follow us there. And as we plan our events, we will get the information out to you, and hopefully you'll join us, and hopefully you'll take part in this really awesome opportunity that we have to reach out to everybody in all of South Florida. If you know people that are from Treasure Coast on down that you think might be interested in learning things, in honing skills, and just getting information in general, please turn them on to us. So if you could, any one of co-leader Eric or either of our captains, Jody, Danielle, some parting words for everybody.
I was going to say, if you're interested in joining, GEG South Florida, you do not have to wear a helmet. It is not required. It was specific just for this event. But we can auction off our helmets if anybody is interested.
If you need.
Mine will be happy to get rid of it over here.
It wasn't.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming to our launch and being part of it and interacting with us. And I hope you guys come out for more of our special events.
Yes.
So yeah, same thing. I'll tackle off that. Thank you to everybody that helped us with the launch today. And between the four of us, we are hitting all types of levels and resources. So wherever you are in this, one of us can definitely assist. So please don't hesitate, reach out. Let's use the summer and go back even stronger.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to leave feedback. You see the banner scrolling across the bottom, and there is also a link in the chat. If you could give us some feedback so we know what to do, where to go, how to improve. That's why we're here. We want to be here and be better for all of you. So thank you to everybody. We appreciate it.
Have a great night.
taking
Thank
off.
you.
Bye.
Bye.